How's it going, guys? Alex here. Welcome back to another Dragon Ball Sparking Zero video, and today I just wanted to go over how you can use Super VEGITO. How's it going, guys? How's it going, guys? Alex here. Welcome back to another Dragon Ball Sparking Zero video, and today I just wanted to go over what I believe to be the best way to use Super VEGITO. And keep in mind, I'm using a mod. It's not Super Saiyan God. He's not actually in the game. It's just a mod. So I think that it's also dependent on the character that your opponent is using, because there are some characters like Gogeta, for example, that just really love the skill where he goes straight into sparking, and oh my god, I need to focus. I'm gonna get cooked. That puts them straight into sparking, and then sadly, he can just spam the ultimate attack. So that's what the majority of the Gogeta players that you will come across will do. I have more ki here, so. Okay, in regards to Gogeta, I think I will try my best to save the after image strike. Well, actually, I can probably use it now. I don't think he's gonna go into that form just yet. Okay, I think he has enough to go into it now. But it's not a bad idea. Honestly, I can't even believe what I'm saying this. It's actually not a bad idea to get into vanishing battles, because that builds up the skill meter as well. So, okay. I'm just gonna... Okay. And it's not another thing to note as well is that it's not a bad idea. Okay, I'm gonna use it now. It's not a bad idea to not even try to go to sparking. Well, at the very least, if you do, just save the ki, because you're gonna want it for the vanishing battles that you may have, and just things like that. But right now, I'm just trying to focus on. Oh my goodness, that was close. Yeah, so right there, I was just trying to Right there, I was just trying to focus on not letting him ultimate attack me there, but I think we have this one in the bag. And hopefully it's just not going to be Gogeta from now on, because, I mean, as you can imagine, he's quite a popular character. I'm going to spam some ki blasts here. Okay, he read that. So I'm going to build that up a bit. Okay. Am I dead? I may be dead. No, just barely alive. Okay, after image strike, thank you. Close one! Yeah, little too close for comfort. And I'm not in the lower ranks anymore. I believe I'm A3, but yeah, it's hard to play the game and commentate at the same time. But I will try my best to just go over what I'm doing. Again, it depends on the character. Because if you're going up against another Super VEGITO, then obviously you want to counter that. Jiren, I actually don't go up against too many Jirens. The problem with Jiren is that he has an ability that puts him straight into sparking mode. I'm not entirely sure if his ultimate is unblockable or not. But, you know, building up your ki when you throw someone away instead of trying to super attack or even chase them, just so you have enough for, like, vanishing battles is also not a bad idea. And people do start off with ki a lot of the time. That's something I noticed. Oh my word. Chill, bro. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to push him away here, build up my ki, just in case we do end up in some sort of battle here. Okay. In terms of combos, I think I would try to leave that at the end. But it's difficult, because in this game, there's like so many different ways to... Well, like that. There's so many different ways. Okay, now I'm going to have to try to just let this go down. But yeah, like I was saying, in this game, there's so many ways to counter and defend that it's difficult to get a solid combo off, especially with the super counters, which literally cost nothing. So yeah, you do have to be careful with your usage here. And I think you can. I think I got this. Okay, I wanted to guard just in case. Okay. Okay, go for the low. Okay. Nice. I'm doing pretty good here. I kind of want to get into a vanishing battle just so I can build up my skill points a bit, but I think he's going to go into that mode. We managed to stop it. And do try to spam the ki blast. Spam the ki blast, okay. One thing that people love doing is just rushing in straight away, and I mean, it's obvious, right? Because there isn't very much time to get it off, but I mean, we're going to be fine here anyway. Thank you. And yeah, so I think if you do get the chance to get into that mode with, or sparking mode with VEGITO, the best thing to do, in my opinion, is maybe just spam some ki blasts, get some attacks in if you can, but saving the ki is extremely helpful because then you have, well, you have vanishing to work with, you have just more utility because a lot of the things in this game do. Okay, and this is just me commentating over some videos that, or some matches that I had yesterday, and this is some of the highest ranked games that I had so far. I believe that this Kefla was in S5, but yeah, Kefla is also another character that you will encounter quite consistently just because she also has an ability that puts her straight into sparking. If I'm not mistaken, she can use two ultimate, no, not two ultimates, one super and an ultimate back to back in her sparking mode. So the thing that I tried to do here, like I stated at certain points in the video, it was just simply to build up my ki so that if I do get an advantage battle like I did there, then I would have enough ki to just get out of it and do some damage, and then of course try to build up my meter again. And yeah, I mean, you gotta love the vanish battles, right? It really does, at the end of the day, it really does come down to just, I mean, who has the most at the end of the day. And I mean, if you can super block that stuff, then great. But I did use my vanish here because I saw that Kefla has 6 skill points already, which means that she's going to go into sparking mode with no time to spare. And I also did manage to get into it surprisingly, so I believe that I end up getting off an ultimate here. So, I mean, if the opportunity does present itself, then I think it's worth doing. Yeah, there you go. So I do end up comboing into the ultimate. And in these next 2 matches, you will see how I personally deal with the sparking mode if the after image isn't available. This doesn't kill her, but then oh, you're going to see one of the most ridiculous things that you can do with VEGITO. So here she is, still in sparking mode, struggling. You know, I have 3 bars of health. She basically has nothing left. She uses, I think it's a super attack or an ultimate. And then, yeah. Yep. That is Super VEGITO for you. And then the second match was against a different Kefla, if I'm not mistaken. So, starting off pretty evenly. She does manage to get me off there. That's a crazy sentence. And I'm just trying to make the... can't speak. I'm just trying to make use of my defense here. And, okay, I get her into a small combo here. And I have more ki than her in that situation, I believe. And then again, I try to build up my ki so that I have enough to get into those vanish battles, because another good thing about the vanishing battles is that in the middle of them, your skill points are building up. And obviously when your skill points are building up, pardon me, you can use the after image a lot more. So it's not necessarily a bad thing to get into those vanishing battles. And having more ki obviously allows you to stay in them for longer, which means building up the skill points. And with the skill points, you can get more after images. Okay, so you can see that I have 3 skill points at the current moment, and I do end up using it just to try to get a bit more damage in. And the reason why I used it in this situation is because I do have quite a bit more health than her, so her getting into sparking mode wouldn't necessarily be too much of an issue, because I do believe that I could have handled it. And I think she does enter it now, and I don't think I kill her, but okay, so she is going to dash at me, so I use perception. I hit her. She's going to come at me again. She's throwing ki blast at the moment. She is going to dash in again. And what do? Perception. Again, you don't have too much time in sparking mode, so naturally the first thing that you want to do is rush into your opponent, get some sort of combo going, and then the ultimate, hopefully, right? That's the main goal. So when people are in a rush, the main way to counter it is with perception. And I had another match here against a VEGITO, and for some reason he started off in base form instead of super, but he is kicking my ass, to be fair. He already has 1 more bar of health than me, but I do have 3 skill points, which I use that on an after image just to try and get some health back. No, not health back, but, to try and get the, what do you call it, to try and get even health-wise. And he does let me into sparking, which allows me to get off an ult, which is something that I wouldn't do, but I didn't want to waste the opportunity because, again, it's a VEGITO. You want to get the damage in if you can, especially because when you're in after image, well, that's not going to happen, right? And he does have this free skill point here, so he is probably going to end up using the after image, like I expect. Okay, he used it. In this situation, I just start spamming the key blast because the after image does not work with key blast, so that's something that you also want to keep in mind if maybe you're facing a VEGITO here. You know, maybe you're not even watching this this VEGITO video on how to necessarily use it, but how to counter him, right? And okay, here you go. He rushes in. I use a perception. Perception again. I try to keep my distance. He's throwing key blast. I use a super counter here. Again, keep my distance. He rushes in again. Perception. This is pretty much the most optimal way to counter sparking mode, but I did mess up here sadly. And I don't think that I was guarding, so the ultimate attack did go through with literally no time left. Extremely lucky. And I do end up winning this match, but it was very close, especially because that ultimate attack had no reason to go through, but I used my, what do you call it? I did use my after image here, and so did he, so it's just a bit of a mess. But because we both used it, I just tried to spam as many not super attacks. I just tried to spam as many key blasts as I could, and it did end up being a very close one, just simply because he got that ultimate attack off. But I do end up winning here, if we want to get to it. I think it was the key blast, right? Yeah, just key blast spam. Alright, so those are the 3 matches that I had, and gonna go over to the training section of the video. Okay, so the purpose of showing you guys that gameplay on multiplayer is just to show you how you can counter some of the stuff that you will come across, especially as you go up in the ranks, because you're going to see the majority of the characters that you're going to see are probably Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, MUI Goku, Super VEGITO, Broly. You know, these are all characters that either have unblockable super attacks or just some broken skill that they can use over and over again. But you also want to keep in mind that the majority of the combos that you want to pull off in the game is when you are facing their back, because it's harder to, well, they can't really block against that, and the only way to counter it is with a super counter. So with VEGITO, to flip someone around, it's, well, depending on the controller that you're using, it's either XX or square, so, and then triangle or Y, and that flips them around. And that can start off the combo. And then to hit them with a heavy with VEGITO, if I'm not mistaken, you have to press square or X 5 times, and then the heavy, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the heavy, so that's on the 6th hit, that is the heavy attack. So, okay, we flip them around, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then maybe you hit them with a grab. Okay, so that does a decent amount of damage, but another thing that you can do, so something that you can do with VEGITO, which you can pretty much do with every other character in the game, but obviously with VEGITO, because his strings are a bit different, and every character does have different strings, it's just something that you have to figure out as you play them. This is something that you can do, so you flip them around, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you hit them with the heavy, you kick them up, hit them with the grab, and, I mean, I don't think that would usually hit, but that was still a decent amount of damage. And I think it's just better than, you know, maybe, you know, you go up to them like this, you fan it, wait, you need more key. You do something like this, you vanish, you know, you do some damage. It's good to extend your combos a bit. The thing about multiplayer is that it's hard to get the regular combos off just because people know how to counter them. They have, like I said, multiple ways of countering it. They may have an after image. They may have this 2 skill points to spend. They have the super counters. There's just a significant amount of ways to counter in this game, which makes getting off certain combos extremely difficult. And the main way really is just when you are behind them, and chasing them may not always be the best option. So for example, if I was playing against a Broly or a Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and I got into a situation where I am behind them because I vanished, for example, then obviously the last thing that you want to do is spin them around so that they are facing you, right? If you are behind them, you want to, you know, maybe do this. Okay, so that's what, 9,000 damage. Okay, which may not seem that much at first, but obviously if you wanted to extend that a bit, then you would, if you're behind them, then it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You hit them with the heavy. That's 9,559. or for a bit more damage, it would be this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, that's 12,000 damage. And one thing that I love doing is when I have the skill points available, right, is I like using after image and then just building up my ki, because if they do try to attack you with regular attacks, it's not going to do much. And they may not let you go into sparking, okay? And if they don't, well, at least you still have a whole bar of ki to use, and if you throw them away, then you could potentially get an ultimate attack off or a super attack off, and in that situation, obviously you're going to be doing significantly more damage. Okay, so the amazing thing about our beautiful sparking mode here is that you can do this, so you turn them around. So that does a buttload of damage, and you still have the majority of your ki left. You don't completely lose all of your ki like you would with an ultimate attack. And then, hey, you know what? I have skill points there, so I'm just going to use them and build up my ki. So those are just a few of the things that you can do with VEGITO, and obviously his after image is just absolutely insane. It can even do ridiculous things like this. And it can vanish any super attack. The opponent can send you off into the distance like this, use their super attack, and VEGITO will just after image out of it. But again, keep in mind that it's important to keep an eye on your opponent's skill points, because if they are at 3, then that most likely means that they are about to get into sparking mode. And if you don't have your vanishing, then you're going to have to counter the sparking mode in different ways. But then, of course, you can't counter it if it's a character with, you know, with an unblockable ultimate like a Broly here. But yeah, I hope you guys did find the video helpful. If you want a more in-depth video on the combo strings that you can pull off with VEGITO, then let me know in the comment section down below. But the main idea for this video was just simply show you guys the best way to use VEGITO online, because sadly, people are going to use the broken things. Like I said earlier, you know, it's not something to take too seriously. People are going to use the most broken stuff in the game, but if people are using the most broken stuff in the game, then obviously you want to know how to go up against that as well, right? So I just realized that Broly's health gauge was actually at max, so we didn't see how much damage VEGITO's combo string did. So okay, flip him around, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's what, 10,000 damage, and that took away like a bar of health, which is it's pretty good, right? It is pretty damn good if you do end up having the opportunity to pull it off, especially with after image strike. You're going to be able to get behind them quite a lot of the time, and you know, when you're in the middle of a fight, it can be quite easy to just you know, want to do this, right? Do the pull off the auto combo, but then you end up in front of them because of the auto combo. So yeah, I do hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Who is your favorite character to use in ranked at the moment? Personally, well, you can probably take a guess. But yeah, hope you guys have a nice one, and I will see you all in the next one.